All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a video for you lovely guys and gals. And for today's topic, I thought we would talk briefly before we get into everyone's question and answers once again about Hypertrophy with his outrageous French accent. Right? This guy made all those videos about me. And I want to be clear. The dude sat here and scripted 25 hours, scripted 25 hours of videos about me before I ever even acknowledged him. He did about 10 of them before I even heard his name. So this guy built his whole reputation on me. But the thing is, one of the things that people brought to my attention and it was sent to me, this weirdo claims that he has catfished and pretended to be women while messaging me. Now, do I get fake women who message me? Yeah, all the time. And I usually just ignore them. I troll them a little bit and move on because it's very obvious they're fake women. If they don't have 5 or 10 years of pictures on their profile of themselves going back and all their tags and other stuff, it's pretty obvious they're a fake account. Like nobody's dumb enough to fall for this. Like literally nobody, and certainly not me. So I usually troll them and I'm usually like, hey, bro, how about you give me $50 and I'll send you a picture of my foot for you to jerk off to and we'll call it even, bro. And that's usually about the end of it, right? But this guy claims he's done this. Now, he hasn't. He actually hasn't. He's never contacted me with this stuff, but he's claimed that I tried to impress him with my glutes. But the thing is, what I want people to think about, this person who makes all these videos calling me in the closet, all these videos talking about all this degeneracy and other stuff about me, right? Let's be clear. Hours and hours of it. Keep in mind, he's made disgusting Photoshops and things that, again, a normal person wouldn't make for his thumbnails and everything for these videos, right? Showing his true colors. But then he's claiming he pretended to be a woman while talking to me and trying to talk sexy to me. All right, well, let that sink in. I want all of his fans. I want all of his fans who see this. They see this, right? They're going to see it. A bunch of them will. Think about the fact that this dude who's doing this is claiming that he's pretending to be a girl. Okay? Not that I'm over here doing it. Not that I'm in the closet. Not that I'm doing this stuff. He is literally claiming that he's tricked me and catfished me by pretending to be a woman and sending sexual messages to me. In other words, he's admitting he's sent sexual messages to me while he's pretending that he's a girl. Okay? Anybody else understand where we're going with this? It's very, very clear that he's admitting he's the one who's literally sexually attracted to me. He's the one who's wanting to have the fantasy and has literally scripted out a whole fantasy where he's pretended to be a woman multiple times and engaged me in conversations. Okay. What does that say about him? So it never happened, but even if it were true, let's say even I took the bait. I'm pretty sure I haven't. If I took the bait and I'm legitimately convinced that this is a mature adult, attractive woman messaging me, what does this mean? It means that I'm attracted to mature adult women. Okay. I don't think that that's considered abnormal. Oh, Blaha likes women. Man, we sure got him there. But he's the one pretending he's the woman. Okay. So again, ridiculous. So you have to look at that and think about all of his fans who are hearing this and they're thinking that he's got one over on me. I mean, even if it had happened and it didn't, but even if it did, he only got one over on himself. He is literally confirming to his fans that he wants to be a woman and have sexual discussions with me. And it only proves that I'm interested in discussing sexy things with women. Okay. Now, who's the weirdo in this situation? Who's the one being weird at this point? because he's admitted to it in videos. And I want all his fans who are following this guy who thinks that he's someone they need to look up to and do this stuff. You literally have a guy who's claiming that before I ever heard of who he was, he's claiming that his obsession with me, that he's pretended to be a woman while sending sexual messages to me. But then the dude wants to talk about, he thinks I'm in the closet or thinks that I'm a cuck or whatever it is that he thinks. We see the problem with this. But he's the one who wants to be a woman. He's the one who wants to be a woman sending sexual messages to me, who wants to pretend to be a girl while having sex with him. Okay. I mean, is there any other possible interpretation of that? Did you see that Bales of Steel had named a barbell after Alexander Leonidas? No, don't really care. I mean, that's their purview if they want to do that. It doesn't bother me. Is it already bent from doing above the knee rack pulls though? Is it like a buffalo bar? And they call it the above the knee rack pull bar. Oh, guys, this is Alpha Destiny here. You got to do above the knee rack pulls with at least 120% over your 1 rep max deadlift weight. I'm not interested in challenging anyone to a fight. I'm a grown man. Okay. All right. Let me explain how this works. I'm a mature adult man. I don't go around getting in fist fights and challenging people to fist fights. Is that what you believe the behavior of a man is supposed to be? Do you believe that it's irrelevant that I would win? It's completely irrelevant. We already know I'd win. But it's irrelevant. I'm not interested in it. So let me ask you the question again. Do you think that is the behavior of a mature adult man, to go around challenging people to fist fights and getting with fist fights? So what sort of clown question is that? To defend your what? You think getting in a fist fight defends your honor? I think you're a clown, or you're a child. You're a child who needs to get at least some basic grasp of adulthood. Grown men, no, don't apologize. I want you to grow up. I want you to, instead of apologizing, your apology means nothing. Why don't you mature a little bit? Why don't you step back instead and reassess your ideas of what you think a man is? Don't fucking apologize to me. I want you to step back and do better. I don't care about your apology. Your apology doesn't help you or your childish mindset. I want you to step back and think about what it means to be a man for your own good. Do better. Don't apologize. Correct your behavior, correct your mindset. Right? I wonder what his wife, that would be Alpha Destiny, thinks about him acting as a woman trying to talk to you. That's a good question. I don't think he actually has a wife. But if he does, she's probably locked up in a basement somewhere. I don't know. So she probably doesn't have a whole lot to say. I don't think he actually has a wife. I don't think he's ever actually had a girlfriend. Why did the name change? Because the other name was literally an incel name. And plenty of us called him on it. Because Alexander Leonidas is his real name. And I called him on that years ago. I'm like, look, dude, your dad gave you a ridiculously awesome name. And yet, I mean, I don't know how you could mess up that bad to where your dad gives you a really legitimate cool name. Because let's be honest, Alexander Leonidas is actually a pretty legit cool name. Right? Fair. When I found out that was his real name, and he's using this incel, never seen a vagina in his whole life, goofball, cringe name, Alpha Destiny. Like, you know, when he used that name, he has never seen a vagina, ever, in person. Ever. Not even once. There's no way any man who's ever been laid would use that name. When the reality is, had he just used his real name, he wouldn't have even had to be insecure about being short. He could have walked up to girls and been like, stood up with his chest proud and be like, my name is Alexander Leonidas, bitch. You know, I'm just saying. Like he wouldn't even be insecure. No, he's not natural. He's on gear. What is it you say at the start of your workouts? It's a chaos, a Warhammer reference. It's blood for the blood god, skulls for the throne of corn. That's my one little nerddom. We all have our nerddoms. That's my one. All right. I don't do it that often. No. I haven't even played Warhammer in months at all. But I mostly paint it. Yeah, it's a Warhammer reference, dude. It's all good. Hence the chaos because of some of the conjugate type nature of the training, some of the randomness of some of the big lifts we pick. I feel like the philosophy works great with a conjugate type mindset, the way Louise Simmons presented it, even though I don't fully do that these days. And it's a philosophical thing. I haven't gamed in forever. Most of my games were half girls, though. I've run plenty of games with half the people playing as girls, not just a bunch of dudes, a sausage factory. But and I used to play D&D. I don't anymore. Ironically, half my chick friends play D&D in real life. They just haven't been able to rope me into a game. I literally do not have time. Blood for the Blood God, is it like a comic? Well, look up Warhammer. Happy Days. Simply look it up, or you could type that phrase into Google. Coach, any plans to launch a new novice program based on the additional understanding you've gained since 2.0? Maybe. Paul says that must have been, who was a rough crowd? Did lifting make you a player? I don't understand. I don't really think of myself as a player. I've never had problems getting girls, but I'm not a player. A player plays people. Okay. A player is basically hustling women, and that's never been my thing. Not necessarily a rough crowd. I know a lot of nerd chicks. Neil Strauss I don't know who Neil Strauss is. Kind of like Atlas Power Shrug. I don't really know what we mean by that. That would be a great helpful tip. Sure, it would be a big success as your initial 2 programs, probably. No, Jason Genova is not natty. He admitted to using gear. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Man, they're rolling in. All right. But hopefully people will catch the whole part at the beginning with natural hypertrophy. Talking about Jason blah, blah. Right? That clown. With no forearms, I still don't get the whole ice bucket thing and talking about being proud of his forearms. And it's like, dude wants to clown on me and then talk about he's proud of his forearms. And it's like, bro, like who, what? I don't even know why the guy thinks he can compare himself to me on lift, strength, muscle, anything. And I'm not even saying I have the best physique. I'm an old man. I'm like twice his size. I can outlift him for probably sets of 15 when his 100 back is on anything. I don't get it. I literally don't understand where he's coming from with any of it. No forearms, no calves. Talking about he trains them all, he's proud of them. I don't get it. And the dude wants to hate on me. Yeah, NH is afraid of responding to me. Because stuff like this video, where it's like, okay, dude, let's talk about your nonsense. Let's let your audience really know the truth of what you've said and how stupid it is. You've literally outed yourself as being in the closet and having sexual fantasies about me. Because you want to pretend to be a girl and message me and talk about sexual stuff while pretending to be a girl. You see what I'm saying, dude? He hadn't mentioned me in a while. He's scared to. He is scared to. When he made his whole outreach talking about me, that he built his entire channel off of me. He would just claim except I'm using calibrated rogue plates and he uses cheap junk plates. Mm-mm. The only reason he has subscribers is because of me. All his early videos that got all the views were the ones attacking me. He rode that hate bandwagon. I was advised not to respond to him. No, he didn't move on. He still left all those videos up. That's where he built his following. No, you don't get that obsessed and move on. Not to the level of obsession that he did. Not from what I've heard that he hung out in discords and plotted with stalkers. It's what I've been told from insiders. So, no, he didn't move on. He is still obsessed with me, but now he's scared. It was, 25-hour-long videos about me, and those were all his videos that got the views early on. He wouldn't have had an outreach. He would still have 10,000 followers had he never mentioned me. So, and they said Hersoviak is natty. Hersoviak's neo-Nazi. Jason, after all these years, you get tired of this silly. Yeah, but it's not going anywhere, so I might as well address it. Why is he obsessed with you? When I don't, Omar, I literally have no idea why he got obsessed with me. I have no clue. Other than he has some weird homoerotic fixation on me. The only thing I could figure out. Because the dude is obviously an anime incel loser who's in the closet, who needs a bath and a haircut, and to quit sitting around talking about Nietzsche like anybody cares about Nietzsche or took him seriously as a philosopher. He got what he wanted. Yep. Yeah, he is a parasite. Absolutely a parasite. All right. We got anything else we want to talk about? You guys got me in here. You want to talk shop on training or anything? Did some heavy good mornings today. I'm going to get my good morning back to 500. I think I need that. Mount Cassius. You want my calves? I don't know, dude. Drop me a super chat and I'll show you my calf. I don't have any questions. Well, okay. Nutrition, training, whatever. GBS said NH is too pure, ridiculous to suck up to such a weirdo. Yeah. Well, again, GBS, another fake natty, trying to push his whole little nonsense. I'm here for the gossip. Ram, coach, I feel very weak in the core after a long break from the gym. It affects my deadlifts and remedial work. Do some weighted ab work. All right. Here's the thing, Happy. Alpha Destiny and I had history. Understand the difference. There was history. Alpha Destiny literally ripped me off for his book. He literally quoted me over and over with no credit. People sent me a copy of his book. He did fake lifts. He pretty much plagiarized me word for word. Didn't give me credit. So hell yeah, I clowned him. But we had history. He engaged me and used to post under my videos. Natural Hypertrophy never met me. We never had a chat. There was no engagement. He made all those videos with me not even having ever heard his name. Right? Yeah, CM is right. Alpha Destiny was literally in my comments every single day posting as a fangirl. Right? And then stole tons of lines from me. People sent me copies of his book when he put it out. They're like, dude, it reads like a Jason Blaha video. His whole intro, he could have just been started with, hey, everybody, this is Jason Blaha here. They're like, he just ripped line after line right out of your videos. Yeah, so there's some history there. So. Well, there's no gossip with Jerry. Jerry's passed. There's a point where we need to let that go, man. Jerry's dead. I don't see the point in literally making fun of a dead person. Come on, dude. Why? Like there's no point. Let the man lay in peace. Let the man rest in peace, But back when you were making us, he wasn't even. Sure he wasn't? I think he was responding. Juji Mufi revealed at some point that he and Bugenhagen don't really like Alex and said Alex stopped fanboying. Yeah, fair. How do you see? We're counting on time. Yeah, they were short videos. But again, keep in mind that Jerry and I had a real fight. Like there was beef with Jerry and I. Again, Paul, keep in mind, there was no beef. Natural Hypertrophy just appeared out of nowhere and just started making this stuff as crazy hate videos. Jerry and I were friends. Jerry flipped on me and sent me a bunch of shitty texts. I'm talking texts on my phone because we had each other's numbers. Jerry blew my phone up, insulted me, angry at me in text. And then he essentially made a video telling his followers to assault my girlfriend in public. So yeah, I went a little hard on Jerry. We had a real beef. Like our beef wasn't fake, dude. There was a real beef there. Now, I wanted to let it go later and said, you know what? I probably went overboard. And I admitted I went overboard. But there was nothing to expose, Paul. He made most of it up. He was making up 90% of it. He was stealing 10% of it from trolls, and he just fabricated most of it. You know what I mean? So it's not like there was a beef exposing what he just made up stuff as he went. So, because it was funny in any event, Paul. So, but those were real criticisms, Paul. They were criticisms of his actual work. I didn't make up backstories about him and crazy lies and accuse him of being a pedophile or a Klan member or using fake weights or whatever. Okay, they were criticisms of his actual public work. They were professional criticisms. They weren't creating crazy lies not based on reality about a person's life. Since we don't actually know anything about V-Shred, he was an actor. You do know V-Shred doesn't even script his own videos. He was a paid actor for that channel. So yeah, it was coming out the channel. You do know, understand he's not the real person behind it. They paid him to be the face of it. All right. Okay. Garden hose veins. Yeah, they're coming along. They're not out as much because it's cool today. Is pasta good for bulking? Maybe. No, not for protein. It could be a carb that's good depending upon what you have going on. Why are you really trying to bulk? That would be the question I would ask. I remember Jerry being in favor of selling supplements because of placebo, and I hit him on that. He literally said, even if supplements don't work, and it's not a big deal because you'll still get benefits from the placebo. So admitting they don't even work. Yep. Do you remember Alpha Destiny's Naturally Enhanced program or his number one fanboy who lost strength on it? Yep. Hey, Manjita, get with the current info, brother. How do you deal with someone who thinks you're trying to copy them and been working out? I don't know. Why do you care? And because he was doing the whole above the knee rack pull thing. Yeah, that's going to get rid of you. You don't need it. Again, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. People getting upset because people who we had real beef that I trolled them back in the day. But I didn't have to lie. Yeah, I mean, the above the knee rack pulls. Do you understand how much damage that kid caused? Do you know how many barbells and racks were ruined because of his goofiness? Like, he was a menace to society. He was literally a menace to society in those days with that nonsense. Revival Fitness says you need to bulk from muscle oil. Who cares what he says? He also says vegetables are bad for you. Okay, take that for a minute. This same clown tells you that vegetables are bad for you. Yeah. Yeah, I did them a few times, but they were totally different than what they were advocating. Yeah, I messed with them a couple times and I definitely had it up, but I've admitted that it's not a big deal, right? Who has celiac disease? You're talking about Revival Fitness? No, he has psoriasis, the same disease I have, which is why I have to trim my beard short. Why I have to shave the bit of hair I still have left off my head. It's the same disease I have for skin. It's called psoriasis. He doesn't have celiac disease. And if you had celiac disease, what does it have to do with broccoli? What does it have to do with spinach? He doesn't have celiac. If he did, he would have mentioned it in his videos about the nutrition. Because I can get sunlight and hydrocortisone cream on my skin with the short beard, Paul. I've admitted I've had thinning hair forever, Choco. What year did you start following me? I mean, how many years ago did I say that? I don't know. I lost track. Coach Van Halen or Van Hager? I'm gonna go with Van Halen. All right. What year did I start losing my hair? I don't know. I'm going to guess it was definitely thinning a little by the time I was 26, 27. So I'm 48 now. So I'm going to say approximately 21 to 22 years ago, my hair started thinning. No, Ruben, I don't want to. I would really just rather shave it. It does way better for me to shave it. It's like I need to shave it tonight. Coach Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. That's an easy one, Guns N' Roses. No, I don't want the goatee. Don't you miss the days when no one cared if you lost? I don't understand why anyone cares about it. I didn't know it was really a real concern. You should grow out the beard more. No, Nibble, I'm not. It messes with my skin too bad. Thing one, thing I'm stronger than you. Sure you are. Okay. And Asia's stronger than me pound per pound. Coach, why did you twirl around in that one? I don't know what we're talking about. Let's see. Oh man, this guy's just gonna spam a bit. He's not even worth banning. Jason, I used to have, I'll probably get to him eventually. They used to say the same thing as you. I use moisturizer and use beard oil. Yeah, you're full of it. No, you didn't. That won't fix it. Would you coach gay clients? I have coached gay clients. Why wouldn't I? Yeah, hair loss is a normal thing, guys. I got my beard is gray too, like he said. Oh noes. Hey Chris, I have already given you guys the entire massive backstory as to what caused the whole thing and the events to it. I don't feel like going through the whole spiel again. It's just not worth it. Because then I've got to mention citation, I've got to mention lawsuits. Coach, how do we bring back the community in gyms? Maybe just start community in gyms. Maybe people need to get off their phones a little more and socialize. Is there any decent ab exercises with a barbell? Sure, you could do barbell rollouts. Default win? I mean, I wasn't allowed to go to court. So kind of a bit of a nuance that gets missed in all that. See, you have to hire a lawyer for that type of lawsuit to file your defense. They didn't even give me the full invite. Like, you have to have a defense file to come. I'm like, really? Well, what do you mean? I didn't spend years trying to convince people. Choco, I never spent any time trying to convince anyone. I told them I still have some hair, it's thinning. Like, you were the guys who were obsessed over it, not me. I didn't ever care. That's why it was kind of funny. Because everyone else made a bigger deal about it than I did. Like, I really just didn't care. but people felt the need to make memes about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't even understand it. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like why people were so obsessed about it, but they were. I truly didn't understand. No, I like being bald. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I prefer it. Well, yeah, and I still shave my head, Chris. I have to shave my head. I still have enough hair that I have to shave it because of my psoriasis. It's just gotten progressively thinner. But then I was confused because I'm like, how were we defining bald? Like I was more confused by the whole thing. You know what I mean? I was really just confused by people's obsession with it. Like I just didn't get it. Oh, well, see, I was never sensitive about it. So maybe that's where they got the impression. Like it never mattered to me. I mean, and I started buzzing it, then I started shaving it while it was still mostly there. Like I'd only lost maybe 20% of my hair when I started doing that. It was like, I shave it, guys. It was way better for my skin. Yeah, Pepper's right. So back when I started shaving it, nobody cared. Like it wasn't a big deal. Would you say ab training is the least important muscle to train? No. Why are we talking about least important muscles to train? You should kind of be training everything. Yeah, but Chris, that was technically true. So I mean, that's why I didn't understand the problem. Like I was never bothered by it. Like I've never been bothered by the fact that I had to shave my head. I was never bothered that my hair was thinning. I just wish I didn't have the psoriasis. If you have a high T skull, the chicks dig the smooth head. Coach, I've been coaching. No, we don't need necessarily collab. I don't know who you are, dude. Collab on what and why? Hey, I think a longer beard would look good too. My skin doesn't agree with it. Like this is as long as I can get away with. This is pretty much it. Plus, it works for me. Right? It would be like George Costanza. I didn't watch that show, dude. That's like the Friends, right? Or Seinfeld or something. Yeah. But that was what I didn't understand, Joe. So like everyone made a really big deal about it, and I didn't understand like what percentage of our hair is gone before it's called bald. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. Just start getting rid of this. Yeah, we're getting way too many of this clownery. And mainly I wouldn't care, but I'm not going to be able to read y'all's comments with the same guy spamming. Rodney, I'll give you a calf flex for a super chat. Yeah. I'm going to try not to ban any of you guys while I get rid of this, but you know, it's just too many of them. I can't read your questions if I allow this to go through. I don't need to get rid of all of them. I just need to trim them down a little bit. The guy's going crazy with his little bot. Well, Chogo. Like I said, I don't need to get rid of all of them. I just got to cut down his spam. I thought I got rid of this guy. Okay, well, cool. You can let me know when you're ready for coaching. Hey, hater, at least, yeah, at least they make it funny. Why is super chat is that private? No, it's when you give a donation, dude. If one is push for time, can you only do 2 workouts a week? Do you think ab training should be the least priority? I don't know about that. Man, 2 times a week is tough. But you can always do abs at home. You can always do some crunches laying in bed or whatever. It's not like you have to do them at the gym. Keep that in mind. Is that all just one guy? It's obviously just one guy. It's a one guy sitting there multi-boxing with a bunch of logins. The breakfast with Blaha is not coming back. I hated doing that. I totally hated it and thought it was stupid. It was kind of like fans wanted it, and I'm like, yeah, this is dumb. I'm not doing it anymore. Found doing sit-ups on my GHR really helps with back soreness. Okay. Is yogurt still a staple? No. I am extremely pro-dairy. Do you not follow me on Facebook, Space? Hold on. Follow me on Facebook. You'll see tons of my food, pictures of my food, my grocery shopping. It wasn't a couple of years, Paul. It was not that long. It was couple of months maybe. Didn't do it super long term. Question about channel directions not allowed. I didn't ban you, did I? TV. What were Justin's lifts when he started with you? Like a 400 squat. So we got him from 400 to 520. Around a 500 deadlift, we got him to like 590 and so on. I didn't do it for 2 years. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I could be wrong, but I don't think I did. Our goblet squats are a good alternative to belt squats. They're a totally different lift. They're a good exercise. Yeah, I do a coffee chat with you guys in the morning live where I drink coffee. Problem is I don't eat breakfast until later. So I sit down and eat a meal. I don't remember what his bench was when we started. We've added to it though. Keep in mind, I've had Justin over 5 years, so I'm not going to remember every single lift off memory. The squat and stuff I remember specifically because we had to work with some stuff. I had to do some things to get his head straight on the squat. Yeah, Justin's natural. I have genetically tiny calves, even smaller than my arms. My arms aren't that big. Should I train calves? No. Why wouldn't you train them? Train them. Coach, can a vegan protein shake with all 9 essential amino acids be as effective as a whey shake? No. Lower bioavailability. Do pullovers work with lat to the chest more? Depends on your structure and the form you use, really. Would you adopt what? No, I'm not adopting or fostering a client. Was he over a 225 bench at that point? Of course he was. He'd been training over a decade. For 10 reps on a flat bench, what numbers you consider strong? I don't know how to even judge a 10 rep max strength. Do you think Justin should start taking the juice if he chose to? He doesn't have any desire to do so at this point. All right. How did Justin get stronger than you? What makes you think he's stronger than me? I've outlifted him on every lift. Like if you had it, no, I'm not. No, Spazzy, I'm not adopting a client. I'm about to get rid of you, dude, with that weird ass sort of questions. I'm gonna give you one more chance, Spazzy, but that's weird. You need mental health type questions. Coach, the more I see your previous videos, the more I realize the only response to your skeptics or haters is to make them watch your level of detailed analysis. Pretty much. Justin's like around 190, maybe a little under right now. How many hours are you awake before you eat your first meal? I usually eat around noon. So, it depends. Maybe 6 hours, sometimes more. I don't know. How much does Justin? We haven't been doing an overhead press, so I don't remember. No one uses pound for pound. If we're going to use dots, then we've got to throw age and everything else in. Nobody uses pound for pound. That's not used in strength sports. Okay. No, you're still in there, Rodney. Is it normal to put 20 pounds on your bench? Yeah, for a lot of advanced lifters. Especially if you haven't gained significant weight, sure. Coach, is a 2,400 calories a good number for 180 pound getting back to the gym? I don't know. It depends on what your energy turnover is. None of that other stuff is relevant. Your question should be, for a guy who burns X number of calories, is X number of calories a good amount? The other stuff's irrelevant. Do you nudge your clients in the direction of doing intermittent fasting? No. If they're interested, I talk to them about it. Do you track sleep? No, not really. I don't use any of those apps. I just sleep. And I know roughly how many hours I sleep every night. Coach, any tips on improving sleep? Melatonin, cool, dark room. Coach, you see how ripped I have no following Sam. So PBs are current. We had to back off on leg training. He had to stop training legs due to something outside of the gym for a couple of months. So his lifetime PBs, 310 bench. You guys have seen me bench 365. 520 squat. So if we count only back squats with a straight bar, you see me do 550. His best deadlift was 590 sumo. You see me do 635. So now I've done 600 on a cambered bar on the squat before. I didn't get my straight bar squat to that. But I didn't try either. I was only doing that bar for a bit. Why don't you do pin leg rows anymore? It's because I feel like I like the other rows more. Is junk food okay if you're finding it? We could argue that a lot, Ram. Only for people who absolutely have to have it. I worry about this generation that can't talk to females. Yep. So I don't know what he could do on gear. You guys can't estimate that because, again, gear stacks vary. I'm on I'm not on a gear stack at the moment, guys. I'm literally on a replacement dose. I am literally on 125 milligrams of prescription testosterone. That's my whole stack right now. I am in the normal range. How old is Justin? Late 30s. But here's the other thing. So if people want to actually be like, how come one of your clients is more impressive than you? Because of my knowledge. So if you're the only one who's impressive and none of your clients are, what does that say about you? It says you're all genetics. No, being it's a good health decision. I mean, am I looking small? I mean, you see my footage this week. All right. Coach watched your detailed analysis of Trend 40-minute video yesterday, an absolute masterclass. You get far too little credit. Thank you. Thoughts on sandbag training? It's a type of GPP. Decent general physical preparedness. Do upright rows work the medial head as much as the lateral raise? We could debate that all day long. 220 pounds at 5'9" is pretty big, Coach. I mean, it's decent. Not exactly small. Yeah, but you don't want to do that year round. Well, Paul, because he's a troll. I don't need all that crap. Do your calves have more veins in your arms or vice versa? I don't know. They're probably pretty similar. Right? I mean, my arms, I don't have, it's colder in here now, so they're not popping out as much. You know what I mean? What size is your foot? Usually I'm 11 or black socks. I would be grateful if you could air your concerns because it's junk food and it's bad for you and causes inflammation and insulin resistance and all sorts of stuff. You shouldn't be eating junk food if you can avoid it. How many of these shirts, the black button-up ones like this, probably 3 or 4. Yeah, Michael, you're not going to help me with my deadlift form. My deadlift form is great. So I'm about to get rid of you. All right, bye. Are you doing low carb for inflammation or to look leaner? Both a little bit, actually. Justin's best conventional is, I think, around 530 or so. All right. Here's a troll code. What troll are we talking about? Sir, when do we get to buy some of these colored shirts? You don't. You go to the store and buy them. Who's your strongest client of all time? Gosh. Well, just getting rid of nonsense, Paul. Paul, do I need to get rid of you too? Let me know. Been different lifts. I've had a couple guys bench 430 to 450. I've had one guy pull 720. I've had a 650 squatter. I mean, some of these have been different people though. Tips for picking up a suit. I don't know. Why would you think that I'm the person to ask? The black shirt looks good. You definitely found your style. Thank you. Good evening, coach. Good evening to you. All right. Bring back Client Safe. I can't. Client Safe doesn't have the budget for coaching. It's bad as you get pants that show off the squat booty, right? Any food's good for lowering cortisol levels. Technically, most carbs do. Would lateral raises work better on chest or back day? Well, if you're not going to have a separate shoulder day, you could technically probably work them in on either one. If we're going to just be frank, I don't think that you have to have a specific one being better. It could work on either one. If low carb and high carb, low fat had the same amount of water weight and appetite control as most anabolic, I don't know. We could argue about it all day. All right, best alternative for chin-ups or pull-ups if you can't do them. I guess lat pull-downs. Does the science show that a higher carb, lower fat diet still produces less fat gain when trying to build muscle? I mean, I don't know that the science ever showed that. This was always hypothetical, but in theory, it should, if you're going to eat a big surplus. Good video on fruit today. Fiber is king. Yep. What determines if whatever flat shoes or heel elevated shoes, the style of squat you do and what your dorsiflexion looks like? Do you have any plans? Lots of people have wanted me to. I still have no current plans to get one. I had an ex who wanted me to get tattoos. I didn't. Can you eat too much fruit? Yeah, I mean, in theory, you can eat too much of anything. No, I mean, I had no plans to get any tattoos. I said I had an ex who wanted me to consider getting one or more because she had them. No, you guys have mentioned the bar already. I haven't seen it. Does Bells of Steel even make good bars? I recently started cholesterol meds and my strength has gone up. They're probably not related. I don't eat any type of fish. Do you have a decent arm strength if you can do one arm pull-ups? Probably, yes. I've always liked girls with tats. I like tats. I like goth girls. I like alt girls. Like everybody knows this. Like, is anybody not aware of this? That I generally date girls with crazy hair colors and tattoos and stuff. Like thought I was, this was understood. Jason, it's okay to see you slightly momentum when doing heavy bicep curls. No, it depends on whether you're doing a bit of a cheat curl or a strict curl. We could argue all day long. I did learn a little bit with Star Spangled Banner once, but I haven't messed with it in over a year. I messed around with it for about 10 minutes one day. Is high carb, low fat better for lean bulking? In terms of fat gain, you haven't voiced your change in opinion. You were very convinced. Yeah, if you're going to do a large surplus, it does make sense. Do you dislike any type of girl? Yeah, but I'm not going to go into what I dislike. I'm not saying I don't like conventional women. I just have a slight preference. Paul, it always goes sideways. Hence why all my friends and family and even chick friends give me a hard time. They give me a really hard time about this. The good friend of mine who I was just only casually seeing, another friend chimed in and goes, "What the F is wrong with you? You no bad, like spray me with a bottle." No. One of my married friends, she like jumped all over me. I'm like, "We're not even serious. Just chill, No intention of getting serious. So yeah, everyone I know is concerned for me. My sister, my bros, all my friends are like, the chicks you pick are a problem. There's a lot of buffoonery in the chat today, unfortunately. But don't we know now that for a bulking a large surplus, and therein lay the point, Matt, and there's the thing, and I agree. Do you think larger muscle groups, quads, back, chest, should get more volume than smaller muscle groups? No, there's no reason to think that at all. If you could snap your fingers and have the physique of any YouTuber other than Michael Hearn, of course, who would it be? Michael Hearn, because I make my own rules. Yeah. Well, Ruben, I will quote my sister. I'm going to try to do it without cussing. My sister always says, if my brother walks into a room, the craziest bee in the whole room will F him. All right. Most random hair color, greens, blues, striped. You seemed like you drive a lifted. I'm absolutely not my personality. Weird hair color. Why do you think that you say exactly, Rodney? That's why it's funny. I have no tattoos, no piercings, and I attract those chicks. I'm like a magnet for them. It's ridiculous. Best advice for managing a lot of stress, manage your stress. I mean, that's an individual thing. I have to give a lot of individual advice on that for clients. Yep. I'm not going to go into if I ever wanted kids or any of that. I've chose not to have kids. How large surplus should a skinny novice bulk? Maybe at most. A truly skinny novice at the absolute most 2 pounds a month. No spazzy. I'm not hiring a coach. How do I know if I'm doing too many sets? Good point. You're losing too much performance set to set. You're not recovering workout to workout. You're not recovering in general. Didn't know you had siblings. Yep. My families are massive. I have an enormous family on both sides. My families are massive. I have 25 first cousins. Let me state that again. I have 25 first cousins. I only choose to hang out with certain ones. Like we all kind of have our cliques. Hey Spazzy, that was always a running joke. Dude, my dad is one of 7 kids. And then my mom's, like one of my mom's sisters had 4 kids. No, I don't even know if I could name all of them. I definitely can't name the second cousins. No, she doesn't. My sister doesn't have time for all that. She's busy making money. Would you count protein from bread as part of the daily course? We should count all of our protein. Hold my beer at 32 first cousins. Wow, you got me beat, Omar. Interesting thing. In a lot of cases, I would say yes, but there's also, because of my own childhood, it was a problem for me. Making money. No, Silver, my sister doesn't have time to watch stuff. She's not a fitness person. So why would someone who's not really a fitness person send her on watching my stuff? She says she occasionally watches one, but it's rare. She used to chime in on my channel sometimes. No, my sister is super busy. Like my sister is not a 40-hour-a-week person. She is literally running an empire with her husband. They're not 6-figure area. They're up there. So, Jason, I get quite a lot of cramps ever since I started taking creatine. Is this normal? No. No, my sister's married. She wouldn't give you the time of day. Just telling you, dude. All right. You guys' grandparents were busy, right? Where are we at? There's so much conflicting information. What's a diet to follow? I break down the different dietary approaches I advise. I currently do actually a higher fat, high protein, low carb with a lot of vegetables. I mean, I show my meals. Harry, if you look at my Facebook, you will see pictures of my meals. You will see pictures of my grocery shopping. Um, hey, Silver, I have no idea. How would I know that? All right. So, yes, Bazzy, you're just being. I told you earlier you're being ridiculous. I'm not going to ban you. I almost banned you. I'm just saying. Comite, you're really starting to annoy me. Who are you talking to? All right. Jason, why are the majority of the lifters at the gym who've been training for years not that strong? Because they don't train correctly. Matt, it says, is there a point which you think someone consuming too much protein, like two grams per pound? Sure, if it's interfering with their ability to hit even their maintenance calories because of the satiety and thermic effect, it's probably too much. Like if you cannot get enough food in because of it, then it's probably too much. If it's too much for your financial budget, given the cost of protein these days, it's probably too much. What percentage of your audience is female? I don't know. I would have to check the analytics. It's less than 10%, something like 8% or something, 9%, 7%. I need to check. Somewhere in that ballpark. Is 60 kilograms overpressed with a pause for 5x5 good intermediate standard of strength? Sure. Who you training would it be? I don't have anyone I specifically want to train. If I added a couple more sets to my workout and it caused me to be really sore, do you think I did too much? Not necessarily. If you added it all at once, you might be the first time. After that, not so much. All right, guys, we're about an hour in. I'm about to wind this down. So I hope it's been informative. I love all you guys and gals, and I will talk to you next time.